Welcome on this journey. We began Wednesday night for those who were here. The season of Lent. Lent always begins on Ash Wednesday. And it's always held 46 days, but that 46 days consists of 40 fasting days and 6 Sundays. On Ash Wednesday here in this very room, we gathered together. And we were reminded of our own frailty, that from holy dust we come. And to holy dust we will return. The Lenten season from ashes to glory. There's different denominations and faiths that have different meanings to them, what Ash Wednesday and Lent, the Lenten season is all about. But it is a time of reflection of our journey and its gifts and graces and the progress we've made on our journey with Christ. It's a time of spiritual transformation, of releasing negative thoughts and ways and feelings to become more aware of our divinity that's within us. Lent is a period of time in our lives where we need to be still enough to be able to listen long enough in order to hear. Let me say that again. Lent is a period of times in our lives where we need to be still in the desert. Still long enough to be able to listen and long enough in order to hear. In the desert we face our own demons, our own challenges and our own struggles. And I believe reflection to be one of our top spiritual practices. It's a powerful spiritual tool to look back on our journey and see from where we've come, where we are now, and our calling of where we're led. And it can be quite scary because we're facing our own demons or challenges. We may find things we don't want to face. We're guaranteed we will find things that we need to face when we come face to face. Ash Wednesday, last Wednesday, so we're already 4 days into our journey. Jesus traveled into the Judean desert. Our Lenten series this year, we prayed about it, our worship team. And each Sunday we're going to talk about Lent in the concept of the 5 W's. The who today, what next Sunday, when, why, and where. But today is about who. And the lectionary readings that were suggested, that were chosen, are about who. Who am I in my personal relationship with God? With God. When is my desert time? When do I feel like I'm in the desert? This Lenten time is not about a denomination, about theology. The season of Lent is about my personal relationship with God, being in the desert alone with God. In my challenges, I don't really like the word demons, but in the reading refers to as demons. But what challenges do I have in my life that I need to listen for, hear? Where are our deserts? I know this week, on Tuesday, the sudden death of our 41-year-old church member and mayor of Wilton Manors and brother. We feel like we're in the desert. I do. I want to skip ahead to the why Sunday. The anger phase. Joel and myself working with the family in our church, our community, the commission. We all feel like we're in certain different parts of the desert, but we're not. I refuse to accept this. I refuse. My first off. But during this Lent time in the desert, we're invited to reflect and look deep and deeper and deeper inside. Was that my challenge? Is that my challenge? Is that my demon? Because I have to admit that I'm not in control. I have to step out of my box to trust God even more and deeper. I know in my heart that God didn't do this or allow this to happen to test us. We may think that, but no. I've seen families and communities come together out of this so far in just a few days. Working together. What's best for the family? What's best for the church? What's best for the community? And all across the nation, people know about this. But coming together. And we'll look back at this and see how much Justin continued to bring us together, even through his death. Yesterday, the family brought his Bible. We looked through it. And there were papers everywhere. All of this. He used his. In there is the Lenten message. And it comes from his grandmother, who was the staple for his faith, who inspired him to be the man he was. A poem that his grandmother had written on April 21st, 1942. And think about what's going on in the world at that time. World War II, in the middle of that. People are frightened. What will happen? But his grandmother chose her faith over fear. The name of the poem is, in her desert, was, I Surrender All. She says, I surrender all to the one who died for me. This person suffered agony just to take my sins and make me free. He did so much for me when he died upon that tree. So now I will answer this blessed call. I surrender, yes, I surrender all. I will surrender all. Nothing from him will I hide. And in answer to that call, I'll trust in him and walk with him, and in him I will abide. He did so much for me when he went to Calvary. But all this he did not do for only me, but also for you. Because to everyone was given the call, why shouldn't we surrender all? Doris Berquist, April 21st, 1942. Lent is a time of surrender. surrendering those things that we carry around like in a backpack, some of them really heavy. The demons, the challenges, fear, doubt, addiction, negative patterns in our lives, and hurt from the past, and unforgiveness. All those things we carry with us into the desert. And how many do we retain when we come back out? Those things that keep us from living fully in the freedom that Christ offers. In the first story we heard this morning about the Garden of Eden, the snake, that talking snake. I don't know about you, but I grew up in Tennessee, and we had copperheads all over the 5 acres that we lived on. And some rattlesnakes, big snakes. And I've never seen one of those snakes talk to me. I'll talk to them when I see them because I scream so loud you could hear me in Florida. But this, if you need to look at this story literally, that's fine too, because the meaning is the same. But to me, this snake is symbolic of our challenges that we have, our demons. In this case, in the Garden of Eden, the demon was human ego. It was humanity testing divinity, not from an outside source, and we'd like to blame it on someone else. That's why I believe we invented this devil thing. The devil made me do it, in the words of the theologian Flip Wilson. But what happened was about human ego, power. There is power in the blood. God creates humankind in God's own image and created this garden in which for them to live. And you may eat from any tree, but the one that's in the center, not on the outskirts, but in the center of the garden, the center is my instruction. And when I hear that, I think about God's message to make God the center of our world, of who we are. That's the message through this Lenten journey. But human ego and power became the demons. The temptation was, it won out. I'm not only made in the image of God, but when they took that fruit, I am God. Power. And in the 40-day story about Jesus being in the desert for 40 days, it's the same story. Temptation. And yes, Jesus was tempted. Don't lift Jesus up to be different through his humanity. He was 100% human and 100% divine. But through his humanity, he was tempted there. He was meeting his demons and his challenges. Jesus was tempted by power. You can have all these things. All these things. Throw yourself down, and the angels will come to you. You will fall and you will not dash your foot. I give you this kingdom. All these things that are within your reach. Temptation. He was in the wilderness alone with his desires and his temptations, and he fought his personal challenges. Jesus didn't conquer his demons, though, if you read the Luke version completely, where they didn't go away. Because he said that we'll be back. When the devil had finished in the Luke version, he says, all this tempting, the devil left him until an opportune time, until another opportunity. And we wonder why Jesus would go to the garden and pray, or even on the cross, my God, why have you forsaken me? We know the ending of that story. From a progressive preacher named Pastor Dawn, she writes, we all do our time in the wilderness, and not all wildernesses are deserts. Sometimes in the midst of a crowd, we experience the kind of temptation that brings our demons to the surface. And we have to take a long, hard look at where our desires might lead us. It's not easy to choose love over fear, she says. It's not always popular to work for those things that will liberate others from oppression. No. All too often, the seductive allure of power overcomes our passion for justice. All too often, the seductive allure of power overcomes our passion for justice. Lastly, I want to share with you, in this feeling of between Lent season and what our community and all are going through, how do we start the healing of the journey of healing? There's a poem by Dunlap, and then says, breathe. Breathe, said the wind. But how can I breathe at a time like this, when the air is filled with so much smoke of burning tires and burning lives? The wind says, just breathe. The wind insisted, just breathe. It's easy for you to say, if the weight of injustice isn't wrapped around your throat, cutting off all your air. She says, I need you to breathe. I need you to breathe. Don't tell me to calm down when there's so many reasons to be angry. There's so many reasons to be angry and so much cause for despair. Don't tell me to calm down. And the wind says, I didn't say to be calm. I said to breathe. We're going to need a lot of air to make it through this hurricane together. So through this Lenten journey and very, very difficult time and week, we're invited to breathe. And not allow our temptations or demons or whatever to distract us. To become even stronger. Justin's left this world a stronger place. Amen.